Mr. Montisetsi, a very good afternoon to you and thank you for coming in. So this wouldn't be the first round of protests on Eskom's offices. What do you hope to achieve that you haven't been able to do?
Okay, let me just correct that. We are not going to Eskom offices. We are marching to Union Building. We want to deliver the memorandum to the presidency. Last month, we delivered the memorandum to Parliament in Cape Town. Our point is very clear that you can't, as Eskom and government, take people from outside, the IPPs, brought them inside the government entity, and then make them to eat within the government entity. How does private sector leave its responsibility of establishing itself as a provider of whatever business, then come into government with no money, of course, come empty-handed, and be fed with the money that is supposed to expand electricity for the people.
Are you talking about the independent power producers
here? Yes,
that
is what we are marching about.
This is not, again, not the first time that the likes of you and the other unions in the sector have complained about the IPPs, but you hear from Minister Jeff Radebe, for instance, that the IPPs are quite clearly here to stay. So will a protest, do you think, to the union buildings, wherever else, be enough to put pressure on the government and Eskom itself to say we have to change our minds on the IPPs and pull back?
This is just an warning to the government of this country. If they are not going to back off on this thing of IPPs, we are going to engage in a general strike. And that general strike will stop everything. Because we, as the workers, we are the ones that are generating electricity. We will stop to generate electricity if they are not going to listen to us.
Generating electricity and stopping that was another contentious issue earlier this year during the wage negotiations, where Eskom said, in fact, your members cannot stop generation because they are bound by the kind of service that you provide to the country to not go on strike. How are you going to get around that?
Of course, we did go to a strike last year and this year. We cannot be bound by the laws which are intended to oppress our members. You must understand that we have a constitution which have the right to strike. So an entity cannot just sit there in the corner and say people must not have the right to strike. Because those are workers. You cannot distinguish them from the general workers of this country. The issue of essential services is the issue that management and the union must agree about. There is no any party which actually can decide to have essential services except the one that is party to the negotiations. So we want to warn Eskom that this entity, it has been there compromising the credibility of its entity, because even now we hear that there's a shortage of coal. Why shortage of coal? Because they themselves, they did not raise the rates of Clenco, punishing it because they want to bring the Guptas, who were very, very corrupt. And then as a result of that, these people that have come in the mining coal industry, they have been unable to produce coal. But the whole thing falls on Eskom because they were unable to raise the rates for Clenco, which has been there for many years, and producing coal and quality coal.
But to be fair, Mr. Montisetsi, the management that was at the helm when the Glencore and Tegeta scandal broke is different from that of Phakamani Radebe. So should you not cut them some slack, if you will, as far as the issues around the shortage of coal in particular are concerned?
Well, of course, the difference maybe it is the faces of one coming in and the other coming out. But if you look at the structure, now you will have a CEO who is a banker, who is not having any clue of Eskom. Then what do you expect from such a person? You must understand that this is mostly engineering. And then you cannot go and take a financial guy to come and lead an engineering company without the skills of engineering. As far as we are concerned, there is no difference between the present management and the previous management.
Let me ask you this then. Have things got worse or better under the new management at Eskom?
They are getting even worse now because we have been told that our members are going to be retrenched. They are speaking about retrenching 7,000 workers. This is the worst thing that can ever happen to us. We are saying, away with retrenchment. What they have to do is to cut the executives that has been chowing a lot of money from Eskom and leave workers alone.
Political ramifications as far as these retrenchments and in particular the independent power producers agreements are concerned. Another thing that was on the table when this all began was that if the ANC government did not convince Eskom to back away from the IPPs, support would be withheld from the governing party. Is that something that you are still going to go ahead with?
Well, of course, this one is a major problem. We are speaking about people here. We are not speaking about animals, people that can think. How the people are going to vote if the main party, which we have invested a lot to them, they cannot understand when people are saying this thing is going to cause poverty. Why should the government actually being adamant that they have to support the IPPs, to put a lot of money in the pocket of capitalists, in the expenses of the masses of the people? They must think twice, because these are the people that have put them in government. And you have to listen to government. That is what is called government by the people and for the people. Is you listen to the people. You cannot just implement something that the people are against. This thing of IPPs, the workers are against it. The truck industry is against it. The communities are against it. Everybody is against it. But it has been pushed on the throat of the people.
Mr. Joseph Muntisits, thank you so much for coming in.